Happy Thursday, brother. I'm all in a whole mood.
Hey, I don't see it hitting the Facebook thing for some reason.
What you see?
I don't see our
Live broadcast. It sometimes doesn't work as it should. It looks like it's
nah.
live stream. It says YouTube broadcast. I see it on the live stream, but welcome everybody as we work out these technical issues. It's not popping up.
Nah, it ain't popping up. You see is the Facebook one on there? It
Yeah,
should be like a custom one, right?
yeah. Facebook LXI Live X. I see it. I see it. You
And
don't
what's the
see it. Okay.
problem?
What is it that you? What are you waiting on to see? Well, welcome everybody.
Oh,
As
there it is. It finally popped up. I don't know what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
It's something different
It's
going
that
down, but it's working now.
it's that internet. It's that internet. What's up, brother? How are you? Welcome.
Hey, well, everything's. I'm in my feelings. I think I'm in my feelings today.
Why are you in your feelings? Turn a
I wasn't in my feelings at first, but I am now.
little.
When I heard you was in Miami, and I was like, damn, the post office don't work for me because too many items get left lost in the mail. My invitation got lost.
Listen, you are always invited with me and my family. No, it's
I
not a
feel you on that.
party. That ain't a party until you get here. But you like family to my friend who we're out here celebrating. So I can't imagine your invitation and you didn't
Hey,
give it
just let her know she and her newlywed, they gonna have to look out when she come back into town because I'm gonna be looking for her.
you. Well,
Yeah,
shout out to the McNeils
I'm gonna send a team out for them for her specifically.
for her specifically, right?
Yeah, and then I gotta meet up with Mom Dukes too to see why she didn't get on her with this invite thing.
I know everybody in trouble. They call you the son, and now you're not invited to the party.
I know it's
This is
crazy.
not okay. Well, shout out to the McNeils who we're out here in Miami celebrating their nuptials, and
Yeah, congratulations to them.
yeah, this weekend is supposed to be turn up fun. And listen, I can't believe you're not here with me because you know how we do it. I can't believe
Right, right. I can't
you.
believe it either.
Well, you know what? I'll save a little partying for you because when we get back, you and we can duplicate it ourselves and have fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you could we could host the newlyweds over at your crib and show them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We could do it up. It'd be a beautiful thing. We could definitely make that happen.
Oh, listen, and I also got to see your mom this
Oh,
week.
word.
Yeah, she's living in beautiful part of Florida. It's a really beautiful part of Florida. So we can see how Tink Tink is over here in Island because she's got a lake like a little lake in her front yard, and then she's got a screened in porch or where she gets to see all this beautiful landscape. And she took us to her favorite beach, and we laid
Oh
out.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So
people,
hey, she keeps sending these pictures of like alligators and stuff. So
it's like
why she want to seek out alligators? Man, I ain't trying to mess with no alligators. I
it's
leave
like
wildlife alone. You know what I mean?
like the Northerners thing to do. You want to be able, like, you don't get a chance to see like alligators. Typically, so Maui is like enjoying herself, but Tink Tink is over there being Tinkerbell. She went on the to the beach. She went to this drumming circle and was dancing with the drummers.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah. I mess with that. I like that. I like that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, so mommy's out there, living her life. So shout out to mom who's actually on the live stream and she says hello to us and she's sitting us on YouTube. So shout out to mom.
Greetings back. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then guess who else I saw?
Who else on here with us?
Now this is gonna take you way, way back. One of my good college friend Josephine and her family's been out here since we realized it was 20 years. So Joseph,
Wow.
yeah,
It's a
Josephine
lot.
sends you greetings and tells you she listens to our show and lets you know that you're not always in the Fokker circle with her because in the relationship you have with women.
Hey, it's funny, right? Because Fokker Daddy was a CIA agent, which means he was by profession in intelligence. You know what I mean? So I take that as a great compliment.
Before you get started and down your because I come to Rose Garden every week not only to to get my personal bit of therapy for my brother, but to create a safe space to enjoy our time here on planet Earth, and also to hopefully uplift those who are going through similar experiences as us. And brother, I do enjoy the wisdom that you share, but you stay in trouble, right? And, and now, now that we've done the show, what is this episode? Almost 40, I think. Um, you have some fans, and then you have people that really want to wring your neck. So we're going to talk about some of the ring in your neck a little bit. But first, we got to start with, did you hear that the shutdown has come to an end?
Yeah, I just was hearing that. Like, it's a big fanfare around that. It's funny because the dude at the top was busy pointing fingers at the other side, trying to say, "Remember, when it comes to voting time, that the Democrats had did this or whatever." And I was like, "Man, these people are crazy. They're crazy." But I'm
Well,
happy to see the people back to work.
they first of all, there were people already at work, and your brother-in-law included. So I'm happy to see the end of forced slavery has
Right,
ended.
right.
I think what is yet to be seen is like what this all means for our country, because when devastating things like this occur, for those who are not affected by it, 42 days of no income for even people who have money is difficult, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because we have to, we have bills to pay, and I can tell you, since this new administration has come, people have really even changed their terms of payment. So let me give you
Mm,
a flavor. Going from net 30 to net 90 for even small thriving businesses is a difficult thing, because in those 90 days you are paying 90 days of bills. So if your payments are not coming for services, let's just say that I offered in October, and you send your invoices at the end of October, the net 30 would mean you would get paid at the end of November. Well, net 90 means you have now gone through the holiday season and holiday bills. And you're going to see payments for October stuff close to February in that time period. So you let me know, y'all do y'all math, you'll do your budget, and for all y'all savers, because I heard this very insensitive kind of comment where people like, y'all don't need to be living to your means anyway. People need to be saving anyway.
Well,
You
technically
tell me
speaking,
how
that's
to do that.
finance 101, what they're saying. So, like, I mean, if we ever had like a real strong curriculum
Mhm.
on managing finances, yeah, the number one principle would be live under your means. You know what I mean?
Right,
That's the only way that you can get savings and stuff. If you living beyond your means or at your means, then yeah, you live in hand to mouth.
right.
But that net 90 thing, yeah, it's a pain point for a lot of businesses, but it's funny because that's kind of standard operating procedure for what I would say people, I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna go so far as to say bullying small businesses, but I'd say they do, there's these kind of tactics where it's kind of manipulating the market and all. But
Mhm.
we deal with that. Shout out to Jane from AT&T. But AT&T is one of our big clients, and their standard terms is net 90 for all their suppliers and vendors,
Right.
and a lot of other I ain't gonna say a lot, but several other you know companies are like that too,
Well,
where
you just reminded, I think, reminding folks that that is the reality for people who are in business
hmm
for themselves. It
hmm
it kind of underscores this idea that not everybody's not working hard, but that
true, true,
it becomes very difficult when you have to live in a scenario that's net 90. The other thing
no
is,
doubt.
everybody who's living in a net 90 situation, for the most part, unless you can control every aspects of your bills, which again, since January, I don't know about you, but every notice we get is, we've reevaluated your structure, and we've had to unfortunately do an increase. So since we don't get to control our ability to to manage the bills that we have, there is some fluctuation that you need to do. And so most people who are running thriving businesses have great lines of credits that they can pull from in these times. And so people don't understand what that actually looks like and means. So I'm shouting out to everybody who survived this time period, lived in a situation where their spouse, their sales, whatever, had to, work for free and not get paid for 40 something days, because I know that it's been challenging. And I know decisions had to be made about, food, clothing, things that you really want. So recognize that you're not alone. I see you, other people see you, and we appreciate your efforts. I really appreciate my husband, who was out there grinding and gritting, for, in a very kind of dangerous kind of field, to make sure that everybody else was safe. So salute to all those people. And I am glad it's over. Now let's hope that whatever we do now wasn't just performative, and that it has a meaningful impact on all these people. So
when the checks come in, when they get the check,
listen, memo didn't come.
Deposit hit,
that memo didn't come yet. What came was, I did, what everybody saw was that PR stunt, but the memo about checks is coming through ain't come yet.
I hear you on that.
And I can assure you, everybody in the situation is trying to figure out, when is it coming. So hey,
man, if they was anything like our employees, they be texting and calling right now, talking about when we get a check, when it's there. I'm like, come on, man. When we ever miss a damn check? Why you texting and calling on these days? Just sit back and wait. If we miss a day, if it ain't come on the right day, then I could see that. But I would be doing that though. I'm wondering now, when we gonna get paid?
Listen, I hope every government employee who is impacted all in tall order sends the same email at the same time and tell them I want it. And matter of fact, I think we're in a position now to make some demands. Like, I want that thing on Tuesday in my bank account. And I actually want what's it called when interest from
no doubt. I think the interest should be, because I heard that when they pay, the back pay, they take mad taxes out of it.
They do.
It's like more than the regular pay. So that's kind of messed up.
So it's not even. But shout out to everybody who's in a good situation. And I feel like at least that it's about to be over. It's not over. The consequences have already been dealt out, but it is over. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that that gives our family a little bit of relief. But also moving gears a little bit. So we have all these things to celebrate with the wedding. We have all these things to celebrate in terms of ending the shutdown. But we also have some other things to celebrate, brother. You want to know what those things are?
Tell me, talk to me. What is it?
Well, we've talked often about the group chat. And the group chat is my pulse on how you're doing in this experience with me. So two things happened last week. One, they enjoyed the show very much. So, thank you for being such a gracious host to my dear friend, and somebody who I think everybody could learn from, Amanda. She was exceptional. And so they brought something to my attention that they asked me to share with you, because what they said was, we can see that brother is changing, and that we recognize that there's some growth. I'm going to read to you what was put in the group chat. So what they said, so you have a nickname. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you. I've never shared it with you, because I don't believe in harming your heart. But they call you Bald-Headed Brother.
That ain't gonna harm my heart.
Well,
I ain't changing. I haven't changed. I mean, I guess I'm always on the path of enlightenment and striving for a higher magnitude. But in terms of the time that we spent together, I ain't changed.
Wait a minute. These are complimentary words. So I need you to turn down your defensiveness.
I feel you on that.
So that
I'm a yield.
Yield.
Yeah. I'm a yield.
That's much like what you asking of the women, as you say, obey. Okay, so as I obey, you shall yield. So that you know that in the group chat, you are referred to as Bald-Headed Brother. So, and sometimes they call you BHB. Because we're in the whole. So Bald-Headed Brother has finally come around. We see a lot of growth in him. I really appreciated his idea, his I really appreciated his confirmation of accountability this week. But one thing I would like him to note is that accountability is a deeply personal thing. What we noticed in his exchange is that he is allowing others to dictate what his level of accountability would be. Since accountability is personal, it would behoove him, and they call you BHB. It would behoove BHB to talk about things that he would like to be more accountable for, instead of focusing outwardly to address the females in his life. Continue to grow, BHB. We are loving your progress. So that's
Hey,
from,
that's fun. That's so funny. But you know what? I'm not surprised
that's
by the
from the
tone,
group.
of that feedback.
Well,
And
what
I'll tell you why. Because
time?
I
First
don't
of
think,
all, wait a minute. Let's
yeah,
congratulate the group chat. Let's do that.
yeah,
Let's do
yeah,
that.
yeah. I appreciate. Yeah, I'm so salute to the group chat. Salute to the group chat for bringing that up. Salute to them. But look, this is the thing. I would say this to add on to what they're saying. Accountability is not just personal. Just by nature of accountability, there is a personal component to it, right?
Okay. What do you mean
But
about what do you
all
so
right,
you
so
you
accountability is not just personal, and but that's why I say I'm not surprised that women that the group chat because y'all have that's the female group chat, but then I gotta represent the male group chat because my brethren was hitting me, following the show, and they felt like uh I held back a lot, which I did do because I knew that this person was near and dear to you. But also I was being honest too. I think that she had a pleasant demeanor and way about herself and all this stuff.
well, what do you mean
But I would
is a
just say this
personal thing?
though.
So
Like,
you got to address one thing at a time. So you
okay,
say
but just
accountability.
accountability though, accountability is not just personal. By its very definition, by the standard of accountability, and maybe this is because men accountability is grander, it's larger. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well, let me
Like,
since we may be saying something different. So I'm going to go to the good Webster,
well,
and Webster
you
says,
pull up that Webster, and I want to ask you this question in terms of accountability, right?
okay,
This is a question I got.
okay.
Is it personal? So could you consider accountability personal if a man and a woman enter a relationship supposedly on equal terms and equal ground, meaning that they both bring equal value to this? And if the woman is at fault for the relationship ending, meaning that she decides she wants to leave for whatever the reason, why then is she attached to the man's back for him to continue to carry her on in alimony, child support, or any other thing? Why can he? So if we all have personal accountability, why doesn't she have personal accountability for
Okay, wait.
her own lifestyle?
I'm going to answer that. But first,
Okay.
I want to go
So
back to where the group chat was taking you because I think that's a separate issue. So
no, that's account. So the reason why the court assesses
what are
financial
you talking?
responsibility and obligation
Do you
to the man on the woman is because they believe that the man is accountable
so you
for
represent
this thing.
so you reflect the court's position, but let me just help you with because I want us to be having a shared discussion. Okay,
Okay, let's do it. Let's
we're
do it.
not sharing the discussion when we defining things a little different. Because what I see is
Okay, okay. Let me hear you.
that is something else. But I'm gonna tell you that term. But for now, we're gonna go back to accountability as
Mhm.
defined in Merriam-Webster, right, which is a respected source. It was established in 1820. It has since governed the way we use language here in America. It defines accountability as an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's own actions.
Well,
So,
that's what I'm saying. So when we say accountable, that's why I say
so it's
when
personal.
accountability accountability having a personal component to it is saying you are obligated to and responsible for your own actions, which I 100% agree and I have no objection to or nothing to. All I'm saying is if that is true, if that is true,
Okay.
then if a man comes into a relationship with, because all right, most of the time, and this is again, is this is a harsh truth that men find out later. Most of the time, women's interest in a relationship is for safety and security, and for the large part, from the financial aspect of it.
Okay, perhaps.
But for a man, so all right, so
But that was
so
different.
I'm gonna attach this to my to the
Wait,
males group chat,
but
right?
we'll go back to what our guest said. Our guest said that she didn't need financial support from a man. What she wanted was the safety, security, and companionship. So there
Well,
are
see, there were some things that the guest couldn't share publicly, right? So I
right.
would say that, so since she
But
wasn't able to open the door up with it, it's kind of difficult for other people
what
who
about
could
her
relate
current?
to it
But
because
wait,
of
what about her
yeah.
current situation when she was articulating what she wanted from a man? Which I think many women now, to include your own mother, who's now dating as a senior citizen. Okay, this is a senior citizen.
I can't bring my mother into a conversation on a date. I don't want to think about that.
Okay.
But I would just say this. Let's say this. Let's say this. So when the question was asked by the guest last time, or you asked it, in
Yeah.
terms of the perception of value for the woman, right?
Yes.
So y'all perception of value is on the growth that she might have. Like, well, she's elevated in her career and these things, which
Yeah.
a man could care less about.
Are you
Those things we don't care about.
for
Like, I
yourself?
don't care about.
So
I
do
don't
you?
care
So let
about.
me ask
Most
you
men
this.
don't care. Most men don't care. No, if a man meeting a woman or whatever, he's interested in a woman. Most of the time, he don't give a damn what she does for a living. A man could be a billionaire and he could meet a woman that's working at Wendy's, and if she got a lovely personality and demeanor, and she's a lovely, attractive woman, he might be interested. He don't
Well,
care what she
I
does.
object to that because I personally know from the group chat where women are dating these men who, let's just say, I'm gonna give you
Come on,
no.
help me, brothers.
Let
Help
me.
me, brethren.
Your
Women think
your brother.
nobody care about those females' education. They don't care. Nobody care about what.
Okay.
Which
So,
I guarantee you, when a group of men are together, and they say, "Hey, I just met this wonderful, amazing woman." Most of the time, when they talk about it, they don't say nothing about the job she does or nothing like this for a living. Nobody.
This is
No
a
dude.
great example of our counter protest of that. I was on the YouTube, not the YouTube, on the Instagram, and there was this guy who met this woman while he was incarcerated. Right, so they became pen pals. He's in incarceration. He's months from being released. He gets all of her history, right, while he's incarcerated, and is very much a captive audience, can understand like what she makes, where she lives, all of that. So as he leaves incarceration, right, he knows he's entering a good home environment. He knows what the woman makes. Now he brings absolutely nothing to the table because he has been in a penitentiary. And so I asked a friend of mine who could give real context to this. And you know what he said to me? He said, when incarcerated people are getting ready to get out of incarceration, they join these pen pal programs. So that they can get what?
Because you identify the most like vulnerable community there is, right? And I would question. Not that I'll put it away. Like I say, there's a lane in the market for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking it when I say this, because if I was in that situation and I was in the penitentiary, I would warmly embrace some pen pals and all that stuff. So I would definitely embrace it.
And if you're picking a pen pal, you're picking the one who, and the person that I got, who was a real I trust the source. He said, he shared with me, Yes, because when you get out, you're going to need clothes. You're going to need a place to stay. You're gonna need a position. You need all of these things. And so if he's picking the pen pal, he's not picking the girl who works at the Wendy's or is not working.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Girl that got the good job, stability, a home, who put money on his books, have the suit ready for his.
But that's again, he vulnerable. Why would see if you in a vulnerable situation, that's totally different. I would say now,
a man leaving
why, I would question
vulnerable. A man,
but right now,
vulnerable.
we got daughters, right?
Uh-huh.
If and I'm a man, you a woman. We on different sides of the aisle in this conversation.
Right.
If my daughter told me she was seriously entertaining somebody that was in the penitentiary to date, I'd have a problem with that.
And
for lots of reasons, right?
But women
also, for my son, so for my son too, if he was entertaining a girl that was in the penitentiary, or a girl that was in a rehab, or a girl that was in some kind of thing, I'd be like, why are you swimming in that pool? Why are we fishing in this pool? Because that doesn't offer the best. The only way I would say like things like that work out is if there was a connection beforehand, like, you know, like in your case, for example, you was married and you know, your dude did something and sent him in for a minute or whatever. Like, now that makes sense, you know, for you to have a relationship. But if you trying to date a dude in the penitentiary, that say a lot about you personally as a woman. That's something wrong with that situation.
So from an accountability perspective, the woman who's in that situation, we would want them to be accountable. So and so since you're saying vulnerable, when people are leaving relationships like a marriage, you don't think a man is vulnerable then?
Yeah, but see, this is what I think though, right? Because I'm glad you brought that up, because I think a lot of people, when so first of all, if you leave in a relationship, why the hell, especially if it's a marriage and it's one that's drained you in some kind of way, emotionally, mentally, financially, physically, why in the world would the first thing be on your mind is entering another relationship?
Well, that shouldn't be happening. I think there are people who really do not like being alone.
I think but if they don't like being alone, the question is then what reason for it? Because I think the motivations differ. Like, say for instance, a dude might like leave a marriage, and I think women do this too, but they might leave a relationship, and the reason why they're so quick to get in another one is so they want to prove to the other person that I could get somebody and somebody wants me. And
I object to that. I think married men like being married. I think, you know what, I can always married men like being married. Let me tell you something, and again, the group chat confirmed this. When married men,
a bunch of females confirm what men like. Well, they can speak. A bunch of females can talk about what I can tell you 100%. It ain't no man's dream to get married.
That's not true.
Men get married because women want to like it, and they know they doing it to please you.
You are saying this worst thing ever on the fact that we are on the week of the McNeil's marriage.
It's true though. I guarantee you.
I know
I grew up with two sisters, and sisters think about, oh, when I get married. But I didn't think about marriage. I think about the thing after marriage. I think about
that you had a problem.
Well, right now, if a person say to you, tell me what your perfect wedding would be like. Because I remember you said this, that when you and your people got married, you was like, well, this wasn't my ideal wedding. And then you had your dream wedding later. Now, my whole thing was, I guarantee if I ask your dude and every other dude on here and tell me, dudes, if I'm wrong, y'all chat and respond to me on this. The thing is this: no man that I ever met can tell you my ideal wedding is like this, because dudes don't think about that. They think about, you know what, I want to get a wife that I can make a family with. But the wedding thing, all that stuff don't matter to them, because their whole thing is the practical aspect of creating a life and all this stuff.
Okay, I will yield to that. That perhaps that there's not men who have not kind of materialized their dream wedding. But let's just say
they ain't even dreaming about no wedding. they dreaming about if they have something there in their mind. Like I could tell you when we was growing up or whatever, since we didn't have the ideal construct in our development,
Right.
my thought process as a child was, I'm going to create that for my children.
Hmm.
So when I do that, I'm gonna marry this one woman. We're gonna have like 5 kids. It's gonna be that was my juvenile little boy mindset on what was
Well,
gonna
you are
happen.
proving my point that you
Yeah, but
still
I did not think about no wedding. I
okay.
didn't I
But
didn't be like, I can't wait till I get engaged and propose and no. I just thought, yeah, I'm gonna have. I think with the end in mind, I'm gonna have 5 kids. So I need to procreate, right? Because I need to build my legacy, and my legacy gonna be off my kids. And I'm gonna have about 5 kids, and all 5 boys was in my mind. I want five
Lord,
boys. I
have
don't
mercy.
want no girls.
All in
I'm
your
tired of these girls. I want boys. And then it's somebody got to bring it. Got to be a vessel to bring that to me. You know what I mean? So it could be
were you at
5
least
different women, or it could be one. But in
Lord.
my viewpoint, it was I want one because I want them to have both their mother and their father and their life and all this stuff. Now it just so happened that didn't happen that way because I wasn't being deliberate about it, and that's
So,
my
so
personal
your
accountability.
level of accountability in
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
that
My level of accountability is the selection process by which I went through this because
right.
I would say I wasn't. I was just like you said, this going by the whims and circumstances of life, like anything that came across, whatever. But I do when men are talking, about this type of subject, and we were holding each other accountable, right? I
What is
would say this to men that
the group
it's
chat wants to know how y'all hold each other accountable.
well, number one thing I would say this. Well, first of all, I think men brutally tell each other like how it is. So we don't, you know, sugarcoat and velvet glove things
Oh
with each other.
God,
We
that's
brutally tell each other. Like for
oh.
instance, if I
So
if I see a
I raised
relationship,
my hand. I'm because I know that's BS. Now Cardi
that's
B's
not food. That's
yeah,
like right now.
yeah.
Every dude I talk to right now, no matter what he going through with the situation he
Who's
in,
telling Stefan Diggs that he has too many children?
you don't think? All right. I
I know
guarantee you.
he's
I
supposed
guarantee. I
to
guarantee.
shut up.
Even our what you was telling me with the counterpart of our people
Right.
that had showed up. You said his predecessor, his father was telling him, "Son, you messed up."
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So most of the time, men are doing this. Like we telling each other. Like I would tell my brother in my circle, my group chat with men, if the relationship break down, it's our fault. You know why it's our fault? Because we picked that chick. Some way, shape, or form, we picked that chick and we picked that chick wrong. Some other dude might say to me, where do you picking them from? And that might show you something. Like I would say, both my baby mamas, I met them in the club. I realized the club ain't the right place to meet a woman. Because
But is that,
look
now
at
that's in your older wisdom, right?
well,
Now,
but now that's being accountable, and I can share that with younger dudes and say like that ain't the place. That ain't like there ain't no place to be finding women and stuff like that because it ain't like you see any certain quality about
okay,
them that would be valuable.
let's
Yeah.
because you always do you brush with these like these men that are all these virtuous people. Think about what really ends relationship. It's really pretty basic. It's infidelity. So are men holding each other accountable for having multiple wives, not wives, girlfriends, and
Yes, I think men
don't lie,
are doing that. Yeah, I do. Because
y'all
I'm gonna tell you this like
are
on some
holding
on
each
some
other.
real honest truth. I would say this: women like to play the self-righteous game. Men don't. So like when men are doing bad behavior stuff, they call it that. I remember a
This is
whole
not,
nother circle, another
not true.
social circle I was connected to. They would call their mischievous behavior. They termed it DDS, right? And DDS was a play on when you were a dental doctor, you got DDS credentials or whatever. But
Okay.
truth be told, DDS meant dirty DS. You know what I mean? Which so that if that's telling you something, which means truth be told, that behavior, even we just know is condemnable and deplorable stuff, but it's just part of a person's nature. It's just like like a pig like to roll around in dirt. right, or do dirty things. But the pig know he dirty. You know what I'm saying? Pig's supposed to be dirty,
That's
right?
not accountable.
So,
Then. That's not
but
accountable.
that is if a pig know, like let's just say a pig know he ain't an eagle. He know he don't fly, and he know I just want to be in this corner where the dirt, the trough, this food, all that stuff. That's highly accountable because you know I don't belong over here where the eagles are at. But I will say, like men, I do think that when there's a man who has like admirable traits, like all men admire it. And one of those things might be the woman that he chosen is like the type of woman, and she might become like the model, the guy, you know, the measuring stick for other women that these men look up to. Because
Mhm.
definitely, I could tell you 100%, other men judge you by the woman you have. They look at your woman and they think,
Well, women
damn.
would say agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
Women judge you by the man that you have, and I think from accountability perspective, what both sexes are looking for is somebody who's virtuous. We can agree on that. But what
truth,
you
truth.
what you say is that when a woman who has chosen for herself something, a relationship is not good. And what brought this discussion to life was your group chat really got bothered by the
Yeah, they
idea
did.
that a woman can grow apart, and that when that recognition of grow that the person has grown apart, when they are saying that we no longer do it for each other, that woman choosing herself felt some sort of way to your group chat. I
Yeah,
would say
it did. It did. It was because of, but also I think again, she wasn't really being so forthcoming with, you know, reasoning or whatever for
But
her
even
own
if,
reason.
even if that was just it, just like
But
we,
even if that was it, that's the same thing as you ever seen that movie with Angela Bassett and all that was I think it was called Waiting to Excel.
yeah, love the
And
movie.
the dude, you know, her husband was like, I'm leaving you.
He
And
left her for his secretary.
yeah,
Tell
okay.
me
So let's just say and all women got a feeling towards that, but he left her for the secretary because of feelings he had, right?
she
But
was well
all women, and
off,
he said,
but she set her career aside. She raised those children and she elevated. See, behind every
all
good
right,
man is a really good woman.
so let's take what you just said and take the woman out and put the man in that place. So this man that then took care of you, he's created a life for you, he's made several sacrifices for you, and now you're gonna wait till 20 years, 19 years to tell this man, we've grown up. If that was it, if all it was we've grown apart, and now I want to break this family up in this situation. You don't see how messed up that is?
Well, I would argue that that level of honesty is necessary, because what you are missing is that that person wants you to remain in this sacrificial situation when feelings have changed, right?
See, that's the whole
Years,
thing.
20 years
Feelings.
is a long feelings.
But you don't give the man grace in the waiting to excel situation where his feelings changed.
Listen,
He
after
wants so
somebody,
but you want him to remain. So this is what I'm trying to say, the hypocrisy of females, right? They try to say, so this man's feelings
so he
changed.
the difference
The
was he
same the same
was
way.
in a relationship.
But
This
no,
woman
no,
said,
no,
I want
no.
out of our relationship.
But then
I'm going to start
this
a new
woman said,
relationship.
this
No,
woman
no
this woman
overlap. I'm going to,
well,
I'm going to out of,
we don't know about all that.
let's just
We don't know if there was like overlap
take
or
it
no.
for face
Well, all
value.
we know is
Take it
she
for face
said
value.
she said feelings that they grew apart,
Yep.
and
Feelings.
then now she wants to date. She like men. Like these were the trigger things. I like men. I like being the president of men. I like the thing. And but you got 3 kids, you know,
Right.
by this man, all this. So basically,
Who was not
this
fulfilling
this
you?
this
She was not
this
fulfilled. They grew apart. They grew.
well, well, so but
They
you
didn't know each
understand
other.
that, but you understand that for the lady, right? You understand that for your friend.
Man,
But why
in
don't you
the
understand that?
relationship,
Why
I do.
don't you understand that for the
They
man?
started a whole nother life. He
But you don't.
started a
But how come?
whole
But
nother
it's
life.
the same exact thing.
Not the
But you
same,
don't get the man no kind of right.
because it's not the
No.
same.
It's
It's
just
not
there's
the same.
nothing different. The only thing that's different is the like I say, the hypocrisy and lack of accountability of women. Where it's okay if we decide it,
Is it okay?
But it's not all right. It's not all right.
Hey, this is why the group chat be wanting to snatch all of your wisdom. They like you. They really do like you, and it's because you are missing the fact that this is not the same. This
Why not?
Started another relationship, which was deceptive. So you're talking about men are so virtuous and we hold each other accountable. If that's the case, everybody in the group chat would love the men you described. That's not who's in this world. They're lying and giving their wives diseases and impregnating all these other people.
Those terrible things. They're terrible things. They're terrible things, no doubt.
But from what we talked about, for this beautiful Black woman who came on your show and was vulnerable and said, I was busy looking at my career, being a mom. I forgot about the wife part. And when we looked up 20 years later, I felt different about my husband. And so I chose myself in that instead of like,
aha, that's the magic word right there. See, now let's look at that. I'm glad you said that. I chose myself, because that's the key thing in all of these relationships, right? Is either you choose yourself or you choose the other. In this situation, what I'm saying is the other is the husband and the kids. Now, I'm just saying, let's just pretend, for example, that the husband was a good man. He was providing, he did all this stuff. And only thing was they fell apart because of the emotional disconnection in some kind of a way.
Which is a big thing
to y'all. Because to women, because women going to choose when it comes to feelings, women going to choose themselves.
Okay,
whereas,
maybe
whereas for you,
this is how basic men are. All right, you have chocolate cake, right?
Yeah.
And would you say you like chocolate cake?
Not all of them.
Okay, what's your favorite dessert?
It changes, but I like for in cake category, my favorite cake is the marble cake, like marble chocolate cake. I like that.
Right. And so do you have a favorite brand?
No.
Okay, so let's pretend you have a favorite brand. We have a favorite bakery. It's in shout out to our favorite bakery in New Orleans, Gambino's, and that girl can make the best marble cake, right? So that cake measures, there's this no measurement. Whenever that's that marble cake, that sis is going to nail that cake, right?
Yeah.
You know, what happens if every day I'm giving you something other than Gambino's? Now, you can eat that marble cake, but it doesn't feel like Gambino's. That's what it's like to grow out of love and emotions with somebody. It's like eating your favorite dessert. And there's some knockoffs, good desserts. Like I can eat other cakes, but when I eat Gambino's cake, it is this kind of emotional sugar rush nobody can match. That's what it's like. So
I get that. Like I'm gonna say that what you said in using that analogy, like I see your point on it. But this my whole thing is.
God, just stop. Stop there and give it to me. You see.
But I guess what I'm trying to, where I want you to look back over the fence and see what I'm saying is, how is it possible that inside of a relationship, by virtue of a relationship itself, it can't exist with one person? So like right now, I could be in love with some girl, some imaginary girl that don't know shit about me, but we ain't in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But to be in a relationship require two active participants.
So that
right? that are choosing the relationship over their own individual needs. So what I'm saying is, if the woman feels disconnected from the man, then it goes without saying that the man feels the same way about her. But if he decides, look, I'm still going to stick in this because of the higher other things that are in this, like we have a family, we have this and that together, I'm still going to stick with her regardless of the fact that we disconnected. He's sacrificed, he's deciding over the other instead of himself. But if the other person is deciding, well, I'm gonna choose myself instead of this relationship, then that's fundamentally an issue. Now, I would say too,
why they get divorced, because one person is not, you know, I hear something thematically here, and this is good work, brother. See, you know, the Rose Garden has brought you to something that maybe you didn't even know about yourself, which is you see sacrifice as a quality that distinguishes love.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that I see it like it's not me seeing it is this way. I'm saying that every human being in the world in the spectrum of love. Sacrifice is definitely a part of it. The Bible says it.
Okay,
No greater love does a man have than this, that he'll give his own life
okay, it's
for
not
what he
the
loves.
only
So
thing
so
to do with love.
sacrifices. So am I right or wrong?
It is a
There's
part.
no ifs, ands, and buts that sacrifice is a part of love. Truth.
There, I would say sacrifice is a quality, but it's not the only quality.
No, I'm
And
not saying, but I'm not focusing it only being that only quality, but it is one, right?
it is one.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'll
then
give.
also what I'm trying to say to you is if a person is in relationship and they're choosing themselves in any kind of way, then they mean they exiting out of that relationship. By virtue of having a relationship means that the relationship's needs is greater than your own. So if the one side of it is making the choice for the other, fundamentally it's a problem.
I think that that's a different way to look at it. I think that we should be in love with ourselves, right? You cannot love
First,
anyone
before you
else
get into a
before
relationship.
you get in. And so, and
Yeah.
then loving yourself also means understanding what you need, communicating those things. But if you're not getting that in relationship, I also think loving yourself is getting out of that. Like
If you, so my whole thing is if a person, so if they both come to the agreement, yeah, look, we've grown apart and this ain't going to work, that's a different thing. But if somebody else says, hey, I just think we've grown apart now, you know what I mean? Like, and the other person disagrees, they'd say,
what is
well,
the person do?
well, I mean, if this has happened, both sides going no. It's just like everybody knows when you're happy with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then and when you're with somebody, something's wrong. Something's going on with her. She ain't talking to me. Something's happening, right? That may not have been communicated. So if
I
these
just
things
got a
go
message
on,
from the group chat, and this is
uh,
going to help you see this better. And this is
yeah,
why. And
tell me, let me hear.
this is why the group chat is so on.
Let
Tell
me hear what these people have to say.
tell brother that he is full of shit. The
How so?
reality is that people do not communicate as well as he's describing. And
That's a problem, isn't it?
that is a problem.
Yeah.
And wait, women often sacrifice a lot for their partners. When a woman has grown apart, she has reached a limit that has become a deal breaker, meaning there's a lot of stuff from how
But
I
so how come then do all these women, when the man decided to leave that woman and wait until exhale, when he decided, I've had enough of this broad, this old raggedy broad, that was my wife, right? I've had enough of this raggedy broad, and I want to now have and this secretary person makes me happy, fulfills me.
what
So
I've
you know what? I've decided I'm leaving you, and I'm communicating this thing to you. By virtue of what you just said, the group chat should understand that man. But y'all don't understand that man because because y'all wouldn't want that situation to occur to you.
Everything
And the problem is
fine if he had stopped. If all of that would have been fine. Waiting the hex. Nobody would have even the scene on Waiting the Exhale wouldn't even been have powerful if he did not have another woman in the scene. See, what happened was he didn't. Okay, let's just say he grew apart, but now he's distracted by this other shiny object that's probably doing things that his wife is not doing. And let's talk about this, which we've never ever talked about. Being scandalous and cheating and all that, there's a certain amount of excitement that occurs. If you talk to anybody who cheats, they'll say that. Look, it was a little dangerous. I had fun doing it. So again, you laugh, it was a little fun. It's like a little dangerous. I might get caught. I might not get caught. So there's this little aspect of it that makes that behavior fun and something worthwhile and worth the risk. So that's the problem for everybody in the group chat. And quite frankly, we can grow apart, but don't replace me before I have an opportunity to then understand that your needs aren't met. So again,
so is the woman giving that to the man is what I'm asking. So what I'm saying is, so right now when a woman, because the group chat just said, and I agree with one thing that they said, which was communication. And yes, that communication piece should be the focus of what two people in a relationship work on the most, right?
Thank
Because yeah, so that should be the thing before a individual is acting on things on their own. Because the moment that a person does something that is in their own favor above the relationship, they have exited from that relationship in a small way. You
you
know what
know
I
what,
mean?
Kristen?
And that means
You know
that
what's
means
with
huh?
me
Go ahead.
is
Uh-huh.
we are two people who didn't
Uh-huh.
have any good examples, really, right?
Right.
But we're trying to put all of this together. And I think the
We
world,
have had a good examples though. Like I think I would say we didn't grow up under good examples, but I would say that their life produced good examples for me that I could look at and I say like that's a great example
okay, I agree with that.
of a
But
relation. It,
can't okay, just you're right. We did have we
mhm.
were exposed by some
Yeah, we
social,
was exposed to some
but let's
great examples.
think about the world. Many people are similar to us. They didn't have good examples. You
Truth.
know, like, and so let's take the example of growing up with parents who were loveless. You know, I have friends who are like, I never saw my parents hug. I never saw my parents kiss. I never. So if what your definition is saying is like we should be sacrificing our entire happiness, the way we see life, the way we situate intimacy in our lives to be in a relationship that's absolutely loveless, I would
I
absolutely.
no, I wouldn't say that. I would say this, right? I think this. First of all, to say your point on not having an example and not seeing, most people should not have the torture or the corrupted vision of seeing their parents have sex, right? Most people shouldn't have that. So what I'm trying to say is,
Hug,
even
kiss,
though even
hold
even
hands.
though we even though we don't have that, we still do it. We don't need no example, no people to show us how to do it. We just go figure that out, right? Somehow. So what I'm trying to say to you is
You're a
that
masochist.
is being personally accountable. Saying that we ain't seen it ain't a justifiable excuse. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And I would say that we enter relationships for very wrong reasons a lot of times. You know what I mean? Some
So,
people some people enter in it for good reasons. Some people ain't. For the most part, I feel like this. Like, I was telling you, I'm about to write this book on this too, right? Which is
Lord, and I
the
really
motivation, the motivations of why people want to enter in quote unquote love. But I think for women,
quote
I
unquote
think I
love.
think there's a clock that be ticking for women where they got a goal in life. I want to be somebody that engaged to me. I want to be married. I want to have kids. That clock ticks and that motivate them to
And
move
I
a certain
think
type
men
of
are just
way.
haphazard. And I think all men suffer from some form of ADHD, attention deficit, and they put their dicks in the holes, and then all of a sudden they get babies, and they're like, "Oh, I got to be responsible."
That 100%.
Don't
So
even like
most of the time, that's the thing that make a dude get there. But just look at the difference though, right? The thing that hold a dude in here is, all right, my actions has created a consequence that I have to be responsible for. And now, even though I'm not 100% fully content with this chick neither, I'm gonna try to make this happen for the sake of this child. That's why I got a riddle for you at
sacrificial.
the end of this that I want to
So
see if
sacrificial.
you can answer.
All the men in your fantasy are these sacrificial bots that just have such good, have such good intention. And what I will tell you from all the badass women in my group chat who are trying to listen, they're all wonderful women. And to your point earlier, you don't care what they do. They don't care what you do either. But what they want is some virtues. They want somebody that
100%. That's what we want too. We want virtues too. So what virtues do they extol that they have?
so
Like, what's a virtue that
you know,
they have that
back
would be a benefit to a man
back
in
to
general?
conversation about someone who how a man has been married before is they have this way of wanting to be have a caretaker. So as I watch my friends date, I can always tell when they're describing what's happening in their relationship, the person who's either a newly divorced or newly out of a relationship, because they say little things like, babe, when you coming home and cook me food, and I left a little something. They might take care of you financially. I left a little something on your nightstand, but I have all my damn laundry in there for you to wash. Or when they are getting up.
What man don't want to be served?
They have this.
What man don't want to be served? I mean, I feel like that ain't no quality of a dude that want to be married.
Well, I think people who've been single and that have not been in this kind of married kind of, what do we call it, bunned up kind of situation, they're not looking for the wife to come home and cook them dinner because they're cooking dinner for themselves. They're not looking for the wife to wash their clothes. I mean, my husband can attest. I don't think in the 20-something daggone years that we've been together that he's folded clothes, and that's
but he's a cook. He cooked.
Oh, listen,
he don't get no fresh meal. He don't get no fresh meal when he get home and stuff like that. He got to put up with people coming to the bed with the wraps and raggedy t-shirts and shit ain't matching and shit. Yeah, that man sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't endure some things. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say you had too. I'm gonna give you credit for you had too. But this is the thing, and this type of stuff. Like the females got to come to the table with the heart of what can I give? What can I give? And men have to also. Men are automatically are doing this. That's why you said a man when he's messing with a female on some serious level, he's got his whole investment, his life investment wrapped around her. I feel like it's not fair. It's not fair though.
Out there, tied dudes, for real.
Well, look, I feel like it's more tired chicks though, because let's just say right now, listen, because to me, this is what I feel crazy about, right? It's like these women that mess up relationships.
Mess up.
If a woman messes up, if a woman does that, let's just say a wife been married to a man for 19, 20 years, right? Then the man find out she been for the streets for 10 of these years. You know what I'm saying? Whole bunch of dudes knocked her down behind his back and everything. And then now he don't want to be with her because of it. Is she entitled to anything from him when the relationship breaks? So should she get anything from him? In all fairness, should she get anything?
This is for another show because
can you give me that though?
Give you that. You're mixing the idea of having when someone has betrayed you and then you're going to the courts to settle your business because marriage is a business. Okay. So that's the only reason we get married is because I want my husband's pension. I want to make sure I get his retirement when he dies.
You want that safety and security. You want that anchor hook in him, but he don't want that from you. He ain't looking at a woman like I want her pension, I want her retirement, I want her life insurance.
I had a friend in college, that we grew up with. Remember, the husband took the lady's pension. She had to pay him palimony. She had to pay for his health.
I don't know, but that was the one and the only time I ever seen that. I don't know how. Hey, that man need to go teach a course or a master workshop on how you do that.
Cardi B's husband is getting more. She's paying him. Yes, she's paying him. That. So this happens. So the reality.
I didn't know that. I got to validate them facts. I don't know them facts. Reality.
It happens. Well, you even saw one in our own life. So I guess to my point is that's a separate issue, and I think we should definitely discuss what happens when a relationship breaks down. And I can address from a married person's perspective why I really believe the 20-something year investment that I have put in with this person, I certainly deserve some kind of equitable distribution.
Even if you mess it up, even if you decide you.
Okay, we will save this for another show. But equitable distribution of assets.
That ain't accountability. If I decide I don't want to be with this woman no more, right? Should I be entitled contractually to the value that she really brings, which is the warm body in the bed or whatever? So should I be every once a year?
Every contract has terms. Every contract has terms. And so we can talk about when a contract such as a marriage is ending on the next show, what those terms would be. But on this show, what we were trying to broker was that you had come up to your senses about accountability and that we were all happy. The group chat was actually happy, and now they're pissed at you. So now it's BHD for life for you. No, you can't even get called your name because you're still really rooted in this idea that women are the problem in relationships. And what I really
most
want
of the time, women are.
no, it's not most of the time. Waiting
Because women always have this thing that guides them of feelings. It's feeling. Like you don't think that a man sometimes wake up. That's why, like when we grew up, I used to hear this thing because I can attest and I can admit to the fact that I grew up under female consciousness, meaning women's mentality raised me.
Okay.
And it affected the way I saw men. And they used to be basically dogging and trashing men. And particularly this one type where they would say, this man just left everything. He just walked out on his family and walked. And when I was a little kid, I'd be like, damn, that's horrible. What kind of man would do that? Right. But now I realize there's a certain circumstances that a person that could lead a dude to doing that. And that is very hard. Well, to walk out on everything in your life and all that. That's very hard to do.
I want to hear those certain set of circumstances because all the men that I've known that have walked out on everything, as you describe it, have been scoundrels. They were scoundrels.
But see, that's the mentality. That's the mentality y'all women put on us. Like he's a scoundrel. But my whole thing is,
they were
that man just operated on the principle that y'all operate on, feelings. I don't feel like do you, I'm sure, like you said, over this last 43 days of government shutdown, that many days your husband woke up feeling a certain type of way, but that feeling did not govern what he chose to do. You know what I mean? So men dealing with this all the time, they feeling all these things, but they're like, you know what? They ain't gonna dictate what I'm choosing to do over it. Well, women are doing that. They like, you don't make me feel loved. And she said it too. I'm a lover girl. I'm not feeling loved in this thing. And I'm like,
I love that about her. So you know what? You're right. I think the way we identify and articulate who we are as individuals and people, I think women have been given the gift of being able to share that. I think men feel a lot of things, but one of the probably damaging parts of it, which is why men die more earlier than women, right. They don't express their feelings. And so they're
100%.
And making them internalize. So kudos to the women who are choosing themselves, because to me it would be.
What about the men though that you just called scoundrel that are choosing themselves and saying, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice everything I have and let them have it. They can let them have at that. They can keep all this, but I'm gonna go on out of. I'm gonna choose myself.
They're not
salute to them too, right?
So I would salute to the men who can understand and label their feelings, but not salute to the scoundrels, because the people who are scoundrels, they're scoundrels in every aspect of their lives, not just relationships. They're scoundrels to work. So they're not there. I heard this. I read this judgment one time, and the judge said to the person that was on, you are a general menace to society. So I'm going to sentence you to, like, it was an unreasonable amount of time. And I was like, inside of my feelings, like, you're right. When you read this individual's history, all, chance after chance after chance, just was a regular menace to society. I understood why the judge handed down the penalty handed down. So that's what I feel like for the men some men who are ditching their women or sticking it and hitting it. I mean, we have so much to unpack about this accountability thing that we do it in this show, and our time really is up. But I thank you, brother. The group chat will be on fire, and hopefully yours will be a little bit settled down so that they understand that choosing yourself is a part of self-care and self-love. And you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself.
Before you choose to be in a relationship, that thing that you said holds true. But the moment you choose to be in a relationship, choosing yourself means you're killing the relationship, and you should acknowledge that and be accountable for that action and those choices and those decisions that lead to it. But I got a riddle for you.
Okay, so this is
I
the
was
part. Finally, you got me something.
I
Okay, let's
I
see.
got a riddle for you, but I want to know. I want to just preface it with I heard this riddle from somewhere,
Okay.
and I didn't understand it when I heard it, but it goes like this, right? So what what I love, I do not carry. What I feed, I do not nurture. What I give my life to, I do not own alone. What am I?
I'm a father.
How you know that? How you know that?
I heard the riddle before.
But you see that though, right? You
And
see,
I understood it
you
right away.
see.
I
Now
understood.
that's not gospel by Xavier, right?
Talk about what that riddle came from. In that scenario,
Yeah.
person was searching for her love, who left them, and she was always searching for it.
Yeah, but he
There was
didn't leave him but intentionally. He
no, he
left
didn't.
him through.
He didn't leave him intentionally, but
Yes.
still was left. Right.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
that riddle for that part of the story was she understood that was pain
Yeah,
talking.
that's his
You know,
pain.
so
It
it
is pain.
could have been
But she understood it from his perspective. When the pain is talking, she's like a
I
father.
her perspective too.
Huh?
She was saying the riddle in his voice. What I
Yes.
love, I do not. So she was saying it in his voice, which was the ultimate to me, which was the ultimate gift of care and concern because the curse for her was she could never, ever, ever let that go.
Yeah, 100%. So
So
that's the empathy. That's the
that's
full empathy
the
and
woman. That
deep
is the woman.
understanding that comes from real good communication
Good and love.
and love,
Love
no
because
doubt.
you recognize, so she loved. So you gotta come better than that. You gotta
Hey,
come better. This
hey,
is
hey, I
on.
totally agree with you that to me though, deep understanding does lead to love, don't you think?
I would agree. And I think
Okay.
that's a big part of it. We
Yeah.
want the closet to be full one day. Bald headed brother, we trying to make sure that you're all right. As we come together to give you therapy, we want you to know that many, many people will be loving towards you if you just open the door. You have a steel door on that very, very, very big heart. So everybody's wondering, like, how do we knock? How do we get in? And so they were trying to give you credit. They saw the idea of accountability as our guest was on the show, and I think now you losing it for them. So
Well, I got represented for the brethren. You know what I mean? The
your brethren
brothers,
are all sick too.
brothers didn't feel like they was they didn't feel like they was represented in here. So
And
I
take
hope I did a better job
no, you didn't.
of
No, you take inventory of all those people. Have they been accountable for their choices? Have they been accountable for the role that they played in their relationships? I would
absolutely,
be better at dimes to donuts. They have not. They have not.
absolutely.
They been able to use feeling words? Then put more simply, have they been able to put feelings around whatever it was that they experienced in relationship? I would argue they're able to describe the woman's behavior, which is what you do. The woman did this and the woman did that. It describe how you felt when that happened. When you
Yeah,
can
I think that does happen, and in the next show, we'll go into the depths of that because yeah, we put feelings to it. You know what I mean? And we could like how there's a difference between heartbreak due to love, right, and deep disappointment due to pride and ego, right? You know
I
what I
would
mean?
agree. And I
There's a
think
big
all
difference between
men are
that.
on pride and ego. They haven't gotten
Not
to,
all the time. Not
oh,
all the time.
you
Not
see,
all the time.
so
There's
there's
a
no iron gate on your heart for your boys, but for women, they got an iron coat. That's a
Like
shame.
y'all cold. Women cold. Cause this the one thing that I think about women that y'all are so cold and cruel to me. It's like you don't want to be with the man, but you still want the benefits of being with the man. Like I want to still be in your so that to me, that's so cruel. Because I would say, like, to me, I'm like, look, I'm cool. We don't gotta be together. If I don't want to be with the girl no more, I don't want nothing. I don't want to know nothing about her life. What she doing? What I don't want nothing to do with her no more. I just want the same thing in reverse. Like, just don't have nothing to do with me. I don't want you to be in my pocket still. and
You
you
know
know,
what? I'm gonna get you a good attorney. You need a good attorney. Somebody that financially exploited you in relationships. For that, I am sorry.
no,
You
thank God I have thank God I have never been in that situation where I had to pay like alimony or child support.
well, you should
I've
never
never
marry
had that.
somebody. You would
Huh?
if you had a if you listen,
Uh,
which is for the next.
if I had the grimy chicks, they was
No,
grimy enough,
you
but they just
there is
couldn't beat me.
something
They couldn't beat me in the
equitable,
mental chess. Just for those.
equitable distribution of property that comes with the title wife. There's an equitable, and listen, I'm gonna stand by that. It's different when you decide to marry someone.
Men, be
That is
careful out here. Be careful.
business.
Be careful with the marriage. Be careful. Be careful and that's making a deal with the devil. What you attaching to your life, because you give your life, your energy, your years, your blood, sweat, tears
And
to
it's just money.
acquiring things
What's the
that
big deal?
somebody else is just attached to like a
It's just
vampire and
money.
suck it out of you.
It's,
And then attached to your pockets.
it's
So
just
be
money.
careful, men. Be careful out here.
It's just money. It's just money. You can't sleep with money. Money
I
can't
agree.
keep
It's
you
just
warm.
money. That's why I say let's both leave it alone. Take it off the table. It's just money. We don't.
And you're gonna give it to charity too.
I'd
You
rather
want
do that.
you want.
I'd rather do that.
So just so I hear you correctly, because I don't want to forget. Instead of paying the woman that you have entered into a contract with in holy matrimony, you would prefer to give it to faceless people you've never met.
No, if there's a reason why, all right, so we don't have kids together. Yeah, I'd rather get to faceless people we ain't never met. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that. If we got kids together, then I will do it directly to the children. That's fair, right?
To be continued. Your children didn't have to give their energy as Lavier put in the group chat. Women give their lives, energy, bodies to these relationships. Your children have to do that.
Men do that too, though.
And some of these men bodies
Life force, everything.
ain't worth looking at. It ain't worth the sacrifice.
Some of them women too, though.
Not the ones.
Thing.
Not the one who's coming knocking on your door, sir. You doing what Stevie Wonder does. You checking the wrist. Before they ain't come to your house, you checking up the arms, all that.
Yes. Like any conscientious, discerning man should do. Be fulfilled, man. Be fulfilled. And be wise.
Listen, I think they're fulfilled, and I think they're now wisdom is something that I question. But I love that you have been in the group chat. In the Rose Garden with me, exploring all this wonderful topic. But we want you to be happy, brother.
I'm happy though. You see this big smile on my face. I'm happy. I'm gonna tell you. The funny thing is this with me. How I really know love is the love my brothers give me. And that's the weirdest thing in life, right? I learned what real love is because of the way that men love me. But I haven't learned love. I haven't, but I would say Grandma Rose definitely. Exactly.
She loved.
She definitely too.
Your brethren have come over when you were sick. When you got the nasal passage surgery, which one of your brethren sat there and made sure that you could breathe in the middle of the night?
My brothers didn't know because I wouldn't share anything but when my brothers know, oh man, they come riding on the heavens, the thunders and the clouds and the waves, and they lift me up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of these women, but no woman has never done. I remember I had an experience. It's funny too because it was with a woman I was intimately involved with, and my brother. They was both there together, and it was a very hard journey I was about to face, and I was saying goodbye to them. I was about to embark on this journey, and right then and there, inside of that moment, the female I was involved with intimately broke all that. Did a show, Oscar awarding performance there, right? You know what I mean? And my brother was stoic, just like you said, suppressed his emotions, dealt with it, all that. But it just so happened that situation I had to face got deferred for that day. But guess what? My brother could not go on with his day. But that girl, she went on with her day like there was nothing happening. Nothing ever happened. You know what I mean? So that showed me. I'm like, oh man, that wasn't the connection I thought.
Well, I want you. Some of your group chat boys got to meet my group chat boys. So how about
I hear you.
Well, y'all, thank you for coming out to the Rose Garden to explore these kind of. And you know, be gentle to BHB because he knows not what he does, and we are in the Rose Garden. He has some moments of growth, but it seems like he's still in infancy. And just like every good toddler does, he regresses and then he will come make progress. So we hope you join us again next week, same time, same place, same bad channel. Brother, you got anything else to say?
No, come to me, brothers. Come to my aid. You know, I'll call into you now. Hey, get on these women and enlighten them. Share your stories with them from your heart with the truth, so we can show them, because I think they know not what they do, and we will entreat with the Lord on their behalf, so that the scales will fall from their eyes and the veils will part.
Boy, you know how listen that Christian upbringing, boy, you know how to. You know, if only y'all did it in your actions. We love you all. Thank you so much for doing it. Until next time.
All right, for now.